individually, what are you personally going to do? What kind of activities are you going to do in that year, and how far are you going to go to do that transition to double our vote?
I think it's my turn. I keep saying it. I would like to have a media team, so we're doing the proper campaign on a PR basis. I would like to also sit down with my colleagues and really plan an area location, who can do what within that in the campaigning. I think I would like to go to places where we reach minorities. I'm a woman, I'm a single mother, I'm an immigrant. I think that may be very useful in reaching to such people. And I think we've got a lot of European immigrants. If we get a fair share of their votes, because maybe they can identify with myself, that should be helpful. I think we need to go to events and introduce ourselves and actually say who we are, what we stand for, what is our message, as well as the social media and the normal press release. I think we need to be very, very active. And I hope, same as what Simon said, if I'm not number one, I'm still going to be there, and I will make sure that we've got a good presence. I'm ready to get going.
I think what you said is very, very true on that. And last week we did have this meeting when we were looking at the media and trying to arrange that. And I think as a party, what we need to do is push much more active. As a region, we need to meet more often, put more effort into our sort of press and collective activities that we're actually doing. In terms of personally, I'm prepared to get out there. I've done TV work before, I've done radio before. I'm happy to do that again. I kind of know how the media works in that sense. I've got some contacts out there that hopefully you can sort of bring into the mix. I'm quite prepared to sort of travel around the region and speak to any and all organisations that are out there. Again, I've stood as a European candidate before. I've stood for the general election last time round. I've stood in county and borough elections. I've been elected 3 times now. I know what it's like being on the stump. I know what it's like being up in Hustings, where the other people are not your colleagues and your friends from the Green Party, but quite aggressive people from other members of the Whiskey Party, and sometimes quite ineffective people as well, who are quite difficult to challenge. It's like pushing your finger into a sponge. So I've got the experience, I've done it before, and I'm quite prepared to work with the other candidates, even if you're not number one. I think it'll be a fantastic opportunity.
I think it is a matter of working together as a team, because it is a party list, and actually I'm not sure whether a name is the best thing really. I think we need to represent ourselves as a Green Party, because that is how the vote will be sorted out. It will say the party, and then underneath it will be a lot of meaningless names for most people within the East Midlands. There'll only be a very, very small minority of people that we can actually reach as a person. But obviously I'm prepared to go anywhere within the East Midlands, and also to appear on television and radio and do everything I can to promote the Green Party, whoever it is that's at the top of the list.
Well, you know, I would try to raise the profile of the Green Party as a radical campaigning group that is genuinely different from all the other political parties. In any single issue or direct action campaign that I get involved in. For instance, I'm going to be marching in London on the 20th against austerity, and I hope that this leads to a large grassroots anti-cut movement building up that is equal in scale or bigger in scale to the anti-war tax movement of 89-90. And then I would raise the profile of the Green Party within such a movement. I spend a lot of time with people who are not affiliated to any party, who don't vote, who would class themselves as anarchists. And I do keep trying to make the point that, I'm on your side. I represent the Green Party, and the Green Party is not the same as the other parties. You should give us a try. If you haven't voted before, at least get out and vote. And vote for us, because we are different. We are not the same as the neoliberal parties.
How much better is it to be last and first, and a really fair way of chairing a meeting? I would say that we have to. We've agreed our core message, and it was and it was amply it's amply being put over today in Derby by our activists on the ground there, that basically ordinary people didn't cause the financial crisis. It was caused by irresponsible turbo capitalism, I think is the word that Caroline has used. And to be honest, we should be taking over the financial institutions. And maybe that's a message that we can promote for a year with some resonance. And the other thing is, the other core message is, we are in a situation of ecological calamity. And I think a lot of people can be convinced. And it was summed up in the thing about the 80-20. I don't know whether people are familiar with this. It's been said that 80% of the fossil fuel reserves in the world that have already been discovered, that are already on the bank balances of the big companies, cannot be used if we're going to avoid catastrophic global warming. So that's an important message to get across. In terms of mediums, I think I'm quite good at the 2-minute soundbite. I think local radio is very good. I had a very good working relationship with High Peak Radio, and I would like to have a whole series of public meetings around East Midlands in the last month of the campaign.